Namirah Quadir from Polymarket. Which you guys know, Polymarket is one of the first, if not the first, real prediction market. They kind of had their claim to fame with the elections in terms of being able to, get that so accurate. And ever since then, the trajectory has just been crazy. Now we have seen other companies pop up. I guess some competitors, right? But we've also seen a lot of entities get into prediction markets and start to talk about what that means. So, Namirah, first let's talk about you, right? Talk to me about what you do with Polymarket, what your role is, and kind of how you find your way to,
Sure. So happy. Thank you so much for having me here. Very, very excited to be at the Midwest Conference today. It's been super awesome. I work on growth at Polymarket, so I keep telling people, a lot of people don't realize that Polymarket is a very, very small team. When I joined just a few months ago, I think we were at about 35. Wow, which is wild. No one ever gets that we're small. But to that goal, we're a lot of tasks that I work on growth. So that is a lot on our college outreach, our partnerships. Right now, our big focus is on the US app, which is launching on Sunday.
Okay.
So it is, thank you so much. We're really, really excited about the US app. We're launching in the US. So now the full compliance.
Talk to me about you personally, right? You joined Polymarket a few months ago. Kind of what were you doing before then, and what's been your trajectory up until now?
Sure. So I actually worked on a consumer tech app for the past 2 years, and I was doing that a lot of product marketing, and also college outreach with my people who are doing simple computers. And I was a student at Polymarket essentially, so I all
Web 3.0.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those feel very lucky in that kind of stuff. But that was my background in growing up. I've got teams and helped the team in Polymarket, and I've been involved in super excited about it. Recently, we've had some really great partnerships come out, and Prices one, Dallas one, Gift Card, a bunch of others that I think people should be super excited about. But a lot of my work is going to be around college outreach and really connecting with young people who are building on Polymarket, trading on Polymarket, or just watching Polymarket. I think a lot of people I know and I meet might have not used Polymarket before. Maybe they aren't familiar with the crypto Web3 side of things, but they're just watching it because it's better than not to hit on the news at all, but it is a very accurate predictor and capture of what's up.
Yeah, and obviously this University of Michigan Midwest Blockchain event is significant because it centers the students, right? And it really kind of like amplifies them and brings them and their insight to the forefront. How do you think the intersection of youth and social, progress, right, and Polymarket as a tool, kind of what does that collision look like? And how do you think Polymarket kind of represents the voice of the youth as a hub of prediction?
All right. So I say that first and foremost, our team is very young. He is, I think, 27 years old.
Wow.
They got billionaires in the country. He'll never really mention that, though. He's a very humble person. But he started doing this 5 years. So he was around the age of a lot of students who are at the conference today. And I think what we know, what we're seeing is that a lot of the best innovations young people. I mean, if you meet any of the kids at this conference, they're already building, whether it's Polymarket or Solana, that just represents a really good opportunity to get right in front of college students who are already super excited about Polymarket, but I've been building Polymarket, trade on it, and just to hear their thoughts on the conference as well. I mean, I think one of the most interesting parts of the day has just been hearing how Polymarket, when some kids tell me that they wake up and look at Polymarket, other kids are saying that they talk about it, they're like, even outside of the world of blockchain, the crypto and all of that, people are talking about Polymarket. Yeah. It's becoming hotter and hotter, and it's trying to the broader world of consumers, and that's what I'm doing.
And that's something that the Fuzzy Cloud podcast is always trying to explore and also advocate and evangelize, right? It's how do we actually get to the grassroots of adoption, and then what does it look like outside of just the financial use cases, right? That's what's really exciting about prediction markets as a tool and as a concept, is that it's one of the first things that even more so than cryptocurrency, right? Everybody is starting to really be able to wrap their minds around, and other traditional institutions, right, that are not just the bank, but are got the news, right, and the sports book and gambling, right, sector. Like a lot of these traditional sectors are starting to be able to say, oh, okay, now I see how I fit on the chain via this tool, right? And so that's really, really exciting. Ultimately, what do you think events like this are really important? Or you spoke that a lot, about Polymarket being able to get in front of the right, and other, kind of giants in the space, kind of being able to get in front of, the people that are doing what's next. Right. But how important do you think events like this are overall for the sector? Because we don't really see a lot of youth-centered,
Yeah.
student-centered, builder-centered things, right? And this is really unique. So
I want to give a big shout out to Evan and the College Exploitations team. They have been wonderful partners for Polymarket here. I say that events like this are critical. I think we need events where we're bringing together young talent, young people who are having these amazing ideas. They're acting upon them. They're building and testing things. They're talking about Polymarket. They're bringing Polymarket to schools, to their colleges, their homes, families. Everyone's testing whether it's Polymarket or it's any of the other things that they're doing per year. And I think this poses a wonderful opportunity for young people to come together to discuss these different ideas and discuss what are the ideas of schools, right? Yeah. I mean, Polymarket or prediction market, we're talking about this, we're talking about forecasting. The narrative is and a lot of people are doing exactly that. Yeah. It's so exciting and so interesting, and it's even more exciting to be meeting young people who share that vision. But yes, I think Polymarket had a great opportunity to get involved in they have a thing on what happens around them, a lot of world around them, but also getting involved in them. A place like it's wonderful to see all these young people working together to recognize the power of like Polymarket.
The last question: how can we catch up with you, and how can people learn more about Polymarket and the news you're putting?
I would definitely follow Polymarket on Twitter. Definitely what you're doing. You can follow me on LinkedIn. It's just here. There's only 1 year of Polymarket. We're a very small team again, so lucky to have you there. But yeah, otherwise I just say follow us on X and we'll be on the news. You'll see us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Namirah.
Thank you so
I appreciate your time.
Sure.
Have a good one.